So this is the carburetor of my XT500 Yamaha rescue bike. It was essentially a parts bike that was pretty much on the verge of being scrapped. Everything was wrong with it. It was missing parts. So pretty much I decided to buy it, see if I could fix it up using only the internet and a Haynes manual, which I bought off of Amazon. My plan to get this unstuck is to soak it in a mix of diesel and ATF. Let's see how it goes. So I'm adding a 1-to-1 mixture. Apparently, according to the internet, that was how you do this. So I've got 4 liters of diesel, and then I'm going to add 4 liters of ATF to it. And then we're going to let this soak. I'm going to leave that, I don't know, maybe for about 24 hours. Take it out. I wasn't, from what I've seen on YouTube videos and that type of thing, stripping it down and trying to clean it by hand kind of works. But apparently the best way to clean up the carburetor is with an ultrasonic cleaner. So I'm going to go shopping for one of those, which I'm pretty pumped about because I can use it for quite a lot of stuff. And yeah, try to clean it up and see if I can get it working. Cool, so I pulled the carb out of the ATF and diesel mix. It soaked, I left it for a bit longer. It was just over, call it 24 hours. The slide does seem to be quite loose now, and I gave everything a rinse off with some carb cleaner because it was just covered. But yeah, that seems to be moving quite nicely. The choke is still very stuck, and it's still looking very manky. So I did go and get an ultrasonic cleaner. I think I'm going to pop this as is into that for a while, and hopefully that frees it up a bit more, and then I'll get to stripping it and pop it back into the ultrasonic cleaner stripped, dry it off, and I got a rebuild kit for it as well, and I'll throw that in once that's done. Just a side note, the ultrasonic cleaner seems to be taking a very long time to heat up. I'm going to top it up a little bit so that everything's covered. Cool, everything's covered by the solution. I'm going to switch this on for 55 minutes, or 50 minutes. Let it bubble and see if it's easier to strip it afterwards. Sure. Well, the ultrasonic cleaners worked really, really well. Cool. So from what I've seen, when you take the choke off, or the choke lever, these two dots, there's a little ball bearing under there with a spring that you need to be careful not to lose. Okay, well it wasn't in there anyway, so hopefully that's not important because I don't have a replacement. It's meant to be in that little hole there. Okay, we should be able to take the choke plunger out. I did manage to free this up. It was very, very stuck, it wasn't moving. Put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, didn't really help much. I just soaked it full of this product here called Knocker Loose. It's a penetrating oil that deals with rust and loosens frozen metal parts. Gave it a little love tap with a hammer and it started giving slight little play, and I just kept working it up and down, putting more of this in, working it up and down, and now if you lift it, it's returning like it should. But that was very stuck, it wasn't happy at all. Oh, that's seized up. Oh dear. There you go. Either stripped it or loosened it. No, it just came out. I might have to put this in a bench vise to get this out. I managed to loosen it up in the vise. I did strip it a little bit, but it's loose now. Once I've stripped the carb down, I'm going to put it back in the ultrasonic. Oh, that is nasty in there. Sure, no wonder it was so jammed up. Yeah, that's definitely going back in the ultrasonic. And I'll try to do something about it, all the rust around it as well. Okay. You can see, I don't know if you can, but inside the bore is just, it's all kinds of nasty. Yeah, this is definitely going back into the ultrasonic cleaner. And if I remember correctly, I need to take this bolt off here so I can pull this out. Let's see. Yeah, I'm using needle nose pliers because I didn't have a thin enough socket to fit around there. Luckily it wasn't too tight. Ah, there we go. slide comes right out. Doesn't look too nasty inside there. So I'm going to be changing this needle. But I think I'm going to put this in the ultrasonic cleaner again, just as it is. And I'll strip it down when it comes out. So this little framework here, where the accelerator cables connect to, is very, very rusty. The spring is in very bad shape as well. So I bought, I did some checking online, and there's a product that kept coming up, which was available here, was called, I think it's called Evaporust. So I'm going to soak this in there and see how that does. The reviews on it online were quite good. So hopefully it can clear a lot of all this nonsense off here. Because this is quite, it's quite grubby. From the reviews on the Evaporust, why I'm saying this is I'm quite happy that the spring has spaces between it, because if they were compressed like that and they were touching and the Evaporust can't get in there, it obviously can't work. So I'm quite keen to see how this turns out, because the spring is in very rough shape in terms of rust. The motorbike that this came off came out of storage units that was located very close to the beach, and I don't know exactly how long it was in there, but it was in there for years. The guy that bought the storage unit ended up selling, there was a whole bunch of bikes and bike parts and bits and pieces in there, and he just put them on Marketplace and sold them. So that's where this carburetor came from, because the XT500 that I bought, it was in very rough shape and it was missing so many parts, carburetor being one of them. So I was quite happy that I managed to find this. What else did I get from him? I ended up getting a seat from him as well, carburetor, and a few other little tiny screws and bolts and bits and pieces that I actually don't even know where they go, but we'll figure that out as we go along with the project though. Okay, so I'm going to take the jets out now. The pilot jet, it was so stuck. I didn't even bother putting it in the video. I did pretty much destroyed it, but I did manage to get it out, which I feel very lucky about. I don't know if you can see that, but it was ridiculously stuck. I'm very, very fortunate that I got it out. I'm not worried about the fact that I've destroyed it, because the kits came with another one. So this is the main jet, which I'm also going to be replacing. And that's the tube for it. It has tiny little holes on the side that I did buy the tool to clear those out, but before I do that I'm going to pop it back in the ultrasonic cleaner as well because it's very grubby. It is clear, you can see through it, but these holes on the sides of the tube are tiny and they're guaranteed to just be clogged full of junk. Something else that I found interesting, this car didn't have a needle in the seat. Luckily the kit that I bought does have one, so I'm going to pop that out. The carb rebuild kit that I bought has another seat as well, so I'm not going to bother cleaning this, I'm just going to pop it one side. I think that's it. Oh no, I need to take this on as well. Oh, that came out. That wasn't too stuck, that was alright. That's also quite grubby, I'm going to pop that in the ultrasonic cleaner. Don't think I've forgotten anything. If I have, it's not the end of the world. This is meant to be a fun... Ah, here we go. I think there's a replacement for this in the kit as well. The O-ring on that is trash. Yeah, I've got a replacement in the kit, so I'm not even going to bother messing around with this. The very rusty stuff, I'm going to give the Evaporise product a try and see how that comes up. Cool. So this is the product that I'm going to use to try clean the heavy rust off these parts. It's called Evaporust. I've never used it before. I literally just googled rust removal and this came up quite often. Googled Evaporust reviews and there's a lot of good ones. So yeah, I'm going to give it a bash. Hopefully it's as good as they say it is. According to the instructions, I need to leave it to soak for 24 hours. So yeah, as soon as it's done, I'll pull it back out and yeah, we can have a look at it and see how well it worked. So the two screws holding the needle in are completely stripped. I can't get them out. So I've just cleaned up the needle as best I can. It feels pretty smooth. There's no ridges or anything on it. So I'm not going to change that out because I just can't get them out. They're completely rounded off. And I don't feel like damaging anything, to be honest. Cool. So the main jet holder is spotless. All the holes are wide open. Nice and clear, no clogged. Putting that back in. Cool. Putting on the new main jet from the kit. There we go. New pilot jets. Cool. Cool. I'm gonna put in the new needle and seat from the kit. Sorry about the noise, my chickens are hungry. Putting in the float needle. Put the float back in. And the pin. And bowl. I hit the bowl with a wire brush and it cleaned up really well. Super shiny. So I made a bit of a mistake and had to pull the needle jet holder out again. I forgot to take off the old O-ring, which is completely trashed and just crumbling, and put on the new one. It's completely flattened and it just breaks apart like this. Yeah, that wouldn't have been ideal. So I think this is the new O-ring. Yeah, perfect. So new O-ring in place. That goes back in. Main jet goes back in. Happy days. Then I'm going to pop the drain plug back on. Just give it a wipe, it's got some oil on it. There we go. Oh, did I need to put another O-ring in there? Let's see.
Hello.
So I'm going to put the idle screw in now. Interestingly enough, with the old one, it didn't have this spring. It was just a screw with an O-ring. That was very flat. So I'm going to screw it all the way down, and if I remember correctly from the manual, it's 1.5 turns out, but I'll double check it later. So that's a half. Half, 1.5. So the carb kit also came with a new choke assembly, bits and bobs. This is the old one. I've already taken the stuff off it. I need to take that O-ring off this and put a new one on. That came with the new O-ring, new circlip, spring plunger. So I've put the new plunger and spring and circlip and O-ring into the choke, so we can pop that in now as well. It's working really well. Cool. Choke's in. Cool, so it's been well over 24 hours, probably closer to 30. I pulled the stuff out the evaporust, and the difference is incredible. It's not perfect, obviously. When I pulled it out, it still had rust, surface rust on it. But I hit it with some brake clean and a cloth, and I used a wire wheel on the brass, and yeah, most of it just fell right off. The spring has even got some shine to it, and that was in really, really bad shape. This nut was absolutely horrendous, and I don't know if you can see that. It's quite shiny now. Yeah, pulled all the rust off it. Okay, so we're going to start putting the carb back together. I was struggling to get the screws out of here to get the needle out. I did play around with some different screwdrivers and messed around with it, so I did manage to get them out. So this is the new needle out of the kit. So I'm going to put that in. It's a good thing I did manage to get it out. You can see the old needle was actually bent. So I'm pretty chuffed I managed to get those screws out. So when you're putting this back in, those are the screw holes. This hole here has to line up with this groove on the slide, like that. So these two screws have spring washers underneath them. so I finally managed to get it back on. This part of the spring connects here, the other part connects to the back of the throttle. There was a bit of a mission. You have to slide this in through here, hook on the spring, and make sure the little line on the little hole in the axle lines up with this guy here. Over here, so you can get the bolt back in, which I'm going to try to now. So this little metal sort of washer underneath this bolt, you need to bend up over the bolt. Cool. Next up, the choke lever. This is the new gasket that came with the kit. Let's try to figure this out. I wonder if it matters if it's upside down. Seems fine. Seems alright. So, as fate would have it, I'm only left with one piece from the rebuild kit, and I have no idea what. I've got no idea where this goes, or if it's even meant to go in here. Because this rebuild kit is for the XT500, it's also for a TT500, I think. Carburetor kits. Yeah. TT500 and XT500. So I'm just hoping a TT500 has this little guy on it and I haven't missed something. Because even though I've finished the carb rebuild now, it's going to be a while until I can test it because there's still so much to do on the bike. Which will be, I'm just going to do those in other videos. It doesn't have a wiring harness, so I'm going to try to find a simplified wiring diagram, make the wiring harness from scratch. Very simple one. Kill switch, try to run some lines, run a line. The ignition system on the XT500 essentially gets its initial power from the stator, which is the little magneto generator in the flywheel. From what I understand, that goes through to the points, and from the points to the coil, and you can wire in a kill switch as well, that when engaged it grounds the coil and it can't create a spark. So yeah, I've never done that before. I've also never rebuilt a carb. The engine on the XT500 that I'm busy working on is toast, and it's been slightly disassembled. The guy I bought it from said that he thinks it had low compression. So I've never rebuilt an engine. The only thing I've ever done before is ride bikes. I've never really worked on them, but it's something that I enjoyed. And instead of paying someone to do it, I thought, with the wealth of information available on the internet, and manuals and that sort of things and forums, I just want to see if I can do it myself and have fun along the way. If it's not perfect, that's totally fine, man. Cool, thanks. If you've made it this far, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. I enjoyed it a lot. It was super fun.